Janie returns to town after burying her husband. All of the ladies are judging her and gossiping as she walks past them, except for her friend Phoebe, who stops to listen to her as Janie tells her story. Janie begins to tell Phoebe her story. She explains that she'd never met her mother or her father. Janie grew up in West Florida with her grandmother and the white folks that her grandmother worked for, the Washburns. Janie played with the white children that lived there, and she never realized that she was colored until she was 6 years old. Nanny spots Janie kissing Johnny Taylor over the gatepost. The entire afternoon before then, Janie had been appreciating nature and admiring the blossoming pear tree. She compared her maturing self to the blossoming tree by imagining herself as having bursting buds. Nanny tells Janie that she could marry Logan Killicks, a man that can take care of her. Janie doesn't want to, but then her nanny tells her that she feels that death is coming. Janie decided to marry Logan. Janie still does not love Logan and asks Nanny for advice. Nanny persists in her idea that Janie will one day love him. And a month later, Nanny passes away.
Logan begins to take Janie for granted and does not cherish her the way he used to. One day, when Logan is out of town, Janie meets Joe Starks. He told her that he meant to make a wife out of her one day, but Janie still respected her grandmother's plans for her and hung back. Joe told her that he would be waiting for her when she's ready to leave Logan. She runs away from Logan and meets Joe in the place where he promised to be. Janie and Joe get married that same night. Janie and Joe arrive in the brand new all-colored town called Eatonville. Joe quickly realizes that the town has no mayor, and after buying up a lot of the land in the town, the other people living there nominate Joe to be the town's first mayor. Janie enjoys listening to the townspeople gossip about Matt Bonner's yellow mule. Janie thought up good stories of her own, but Joe did not allow her to share them with the townspeople. Joe continues to treat Janie as his inferior in an effort to get her to submit. She realized that she no longer loves Joe, and there's a lot of hatred in her heart towards him that she had been hiding for a long time. Joe purchased the mule from Matt Bonner. He wanted to give the mule time to rest so that he could die peacefully. A while later, the mule died, and Joe gave the mule a large funeral.
Janie spent most of her days working in Joe's store. One day, after accidentally screwing up someone's purchase, Joe accuses her of being old and stupid. Janie is tired of being silent and letting Joe bully her, so she fights back and tells him that he is getting old and ugly too, and she says it right in front of everyone, embarrassing him. Joe began to sleep in a different room than Janie, and he stopped eating the food she cooked for him because he was convinced that she were trying to poison him. Unbeknownst to him, he was falling ill. Because Joe was paranoid that Janie was poisoning him and was still angry at her for publicly shaming him, Joe allowed everyone in town to enter his sick room except for Janie. Janie finally enters Joe's sick room and shares with him everything that he has been making her feel. To his very last moment, he fights her and blames her for everything. Joe dies defending himself. Janie frees her hair from the head wrap and tells the townspeople that Joe has passed away. Many men tried to convince Janie to marry them because of all the land that she owned. She turned down every one of them. Not long after Joe's death, Janie confessed to Phoebe that she enjoyed having freedom from Joe. Phoebe warned Janie to keep that to herself around the other townspeople, but Janie didn't care. A man who called himself Tea Cake entered Janie's store. They flirted back and forth, and Tea Cake asked Janie to play checkers with him. Joe never used to allow Janie to play. Tea Cake offered to walk Janie home after closing up the store together. Although Tea Cake was nearly a stranger to Janie, she felt an odd sense of comfort and familiarity in his presence.
Tea Cake wanders into the store and starts flirting with Janie. Later that night, he invites Janie to go fishing. Tea Cake leaves through the back door, and everybody notices him and starts talking drama. Tea Cake admits his love the next day. Janie says no is only his night thoughts. The next day, Tea Cake comes back and shows her that it is his day thoughts as well. Janie's friend tells her that Tea Cake is no good for her and that he only wants her for his money. Janie reassures her that it's more than that he will allow her freedom in the family. Tea Cake and Janie get married. Janie takes money without Tea Cake knowing it and hides it. The next day, Tea Cake and the money are both gone. Tea Cake returns, and Janie is mad at Tea Cake. Tea Cake tells Janie that he just spent the money on food for his mates. Tea Cake tells Janie that he's good at gambling and will get her money back. He gets her money back and gets more money, and then he vows that he will never spend any more of her money as long as they are together. Tea Cake tells Janie that they're going to move to the Everglades and work in the muck together.
Tea Cake and Janie arrive at the muck. Tea Cake taught Janie how to shoot. Janie couldn't stand being without Tea Cake, so she left and went with him to work. Miss Turner tries to convince Janie to break up with Tea Cake and date her brother instead. All the other men start to take interest in Janie, so Tea Cake gets furious and whips her.
A hurricane comes through the muck, and Janie and Tea Cake try to escape. The water is rising fast, and all types of things are flowing in it, both dead and alive. At one point, they were trapped in fast-moving water, and Janie spotted a cow that was swimming and had an angry-looking dog sitting on the cow's shoulders. Tea Cake tells Janie to grab a hold of the cow's tail, which she does. The dog attacks Janie, but Tea Cake protects her. Tea Cake kills the dog, but he is bitten bad in the face, and Janie wants to find a doctor to mend Tea Cake's face, but he refused. After a hurricane, Janie calls a doctor and finds out that Tea Cake had contracted rabies from the dog that had bitten him. The doctor says that Tea Cake has a very little chance of survival. However, this does not deter Janie. Soon after Tea Cake's diagnosis, Janie finds a pistol under Tea Cake's pillow. One night, he awakes, accusing Janie of not loving him anymore, and no matter what she says, his disease takes over his brain and forces him to say things that he would never say before. Tea Cake eventually gets a hold of his pistol and takes aim at Janie and even shoots. However, the bullets had been taken out by Janie earlier. Janie tried to stop him, but he was incapable of listening anymore, so Janie had no choice but to shoot Tea Cake and kill him. Since she killed Tea Cake, she was put up on trial, but eventually she was found innocent and did not have to go to jail, and she later buried Tea Cake.
I like it.
Yay! Is that an afro?
It was supposed to be a hat.
Oh.
Afro flex too.
Well, I don't know.
That's okay. He's holding his hat. He's crying.
Are these all black people? Yes. What do you think, Mom?
Abraham Lincoln has a question.
Are they like Amish or something? Because that's kind of what they're all about.
No, they're not Amish.
Are there black Amish people?
I have no clue.
I'm gonna Google that. Only ever seen like white Amish people. I almost said white black people. I've only ever seen a white black person. What do black people look like? Grandma told me she didn't like my eyebrows.
I know.
Uh-oh, we're focusing. Okay, we're good.
Oh God, it looks like that guy from
Adventure Time! I was about to say that, but I was like, no, I don't want to make her feel bad. The camera's identifying her as a person.
Hey, that must mean I did good. Ah! And then he started acting really weird, and she didn't like him anymore, and he was being mean to her and stifling her, wouldn't let her do anything fun. You done? You done?
Yes.
Okay.
What is he holding? Looks
Flowers.
Like, it looks like a cornucopia for a second.
Happy Thanksgiving, Janie! 2 ghosts.
2 cocoons.
Is it obvious that this one's tea cake and this is Janie?
2 chrysalises. 2 chrysali walk along Look up at the starry night sky together. Did tea cake make her prego?
No.
Is her ego prego?
No.
Is she a fertile myrtle?
No.
Tea cake. Wanders into Janie's house. You gotta be kidding me.
Just draw something. Just draw something. Yep, it's all clean.
He's scared. He's scared, I know it.
Well, why does tea cake have a top hat?
Why not?
Tea cake is poor.
So?
Does she look like a horse? Looks like a creature.
Stop.
No, it's cute. What's your favorite animal? Raccoons? I don't like animals.
I do.
Spiders? Deer? Penguins? Frogs?
Dibs.
Caterpillars? Or eels?
Eels.
Eels?
Eels?
Eels are your favorite out of all those?
Yeah, because I like eels. They're cute. They're white and pretty.
Do you even know what eels are?
Eels are slimy, gross fish.
What do you mean?
That's what an eel is.
I know what eels are.
What do you think it is?
They're little tiny little creatures that are cute. That live in the water.
Little snakes.
They look like
they're
snakes.
Not to me. I've watched some movies of them.
Okay.
I like eels.
Not to you.
Looks like alpaca evolution.
Looks like a horse. They look like little horses.
You're Tiana.
Yay!
I love Tiana. Do something funny.
It didn't hurt. Nope.
You hit that.
It looks like you, Natalie, and then Brandon next to you.
Thank you.
Mega combo!